In the name of God, the most gracious, and the most merciful. It is an honor to be able to participate in today's Assisi Revisited program of the Catholic Church in the Philippines, spearheaded by His Eminence Cardinal Jose Luis Campbell. As already known, the Assisi program of the Vatican brings together leaders of various religious groups to dialogue and to creatively engage, as inspired by what has been enshrined in the spiritual teachings and interfaith works of the Church, particularly St. Francis of Assisi. Convinced of such engagement, I will remember immediately after his appointment as 32nd Archbishop of Manila last year, Cardinal Campbell convened an interfaith breakfast meeting with many religious leaders in the country. It is not incidental that Cardinal Campbell would like to revisit the Assisi program, especially so that Pope Francis does not only carry the namesake of St. Francis of Assisi, although because of his humility, Pope Francis said, "I am not Francis of Assisi, and I do not have his strength in his holiness." But the idea of interfaith is very much alive in Pope Francis' theology. For instance, in March this year, Pope Francis said, "It is important to intensify dialogue among various religions, and I am thinking particularly of dialogue with Islam." When Pope Francis particularized Islam as one of Vatican's dialogue partners, like Buddhism, Hinduism, and so on, the more the Assisi program gains relevance in our time, given the imperative with relatively similar interreligious projects like the dialogue of civilizations, the common war, and so on. More importantly, the Assisi program finds rootedness in the historic encounter between St. Francis of Assisi with the Muslim world in the 13th century. According to John Toland, author of St. Francis in the Sultan, The Curious History of a Muslim-Christian Encounter, there are many reasons why St. Francis of Assisi went to Egypt in 1219 to meet Sultan Malik al-Kamil, the ruler of Egypt then and the nephew of the famous Saladin. According to Toland, some authors even imagine that St. Francis of Assisi went to Egypt in order to attempt to put an end to the bloodshed during the crusade, to negotiate peace, or even to initiate himself to Sufism. End of quote. Whatever is the motive and whether or not St. Francis of Assisi was initiated to Sufism, it is not difficult to ascertain the affinity of Christianity and Islam, reaching certain convergence in Sufism or mysticism, as it is a domain of spirituality where both Islam and Christianity have strong historical and intellectual tradition. Moreover, it is in this domain where one finds various treatises of Islam on love, forgiveness, submission, repentance, and so on. The works on Islamic mysticism of important Muslim personalities were mastered and translated by Western authors, like Allah's The Mystics and Martyrs by Luis Masignon, the Kasful Mahjub, the oldest Persian treatise on Sufism, translated by Reynold, Nicholson. The Discourses of Rumi, translated by Arthur Arbery. The Tadkiratul Awliya, or the Memorial of the Saints, also translated of Fariuddin Attar, also translated into Muslim Saints and Mystics by Arbery, and so on. In one of the above-mentioned works, there is a prayer on divine love by Rabia al-Adawiyya, a famous woman mystic. She said, and I quote, "O God, if I worship Thee for fear of hell, burn me in hell. And if I worship Thee in hope of paradise, exclude me from paradise. But if I worship Thee for Thy own sake, grant me not Thy everlasting beauty." End of quote. On seeking God's forgiveness, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, and I quote, "Allah the Almighty has said, O son of Adam, so long as you call upon me and hope in me, I shall forgive you for what you have done. And I shall not mind, O son of Adam, were your sins to reach the clouds in the sky, and were you then to ask forgiveness of me, I shall forgive you. O son of Adam, were you to come to me with an earth full of sins, and were you then to face me, without having associated anything with me, I shall grant you an earth full of pardon." Indeed, the spiritual traditions of Islam that possibly attracted St. Francis of Assisi is very much alive these days. It is even more present in the long traditions of Islam in Southeast Asia, given its long historical and cultural interactions with other traditions, religions, and civilizations in the regions including the Philippines. In fact, it is not only available in Islamic thought, they are becoming popular in Christian traditions and in certain circles of Christendom. If these thoughts are what attracted St. Francis to Islam in its spiritualities 9 centuries ago, then we hope our Revisiting Assisi program today would pave the way in deepening Muslim-Christian encounter this time around. Thank you very much.